Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner at picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Sean, it was a dog eat dog day yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Couple shout outs. Aaron Rodgers, real punk bitch, played like Nicolas Cage yesterday. Sean, he really showed up. Looked like a bad rendition of himself. Had a chance to win the game. Had a chance to be the hero. Had a chance to tie a bow on the narrative he's been writing all season long. And what did he do? Shit the bed like a little bitch against a good-looking, handsome leading man.
Oh, Jimmy G, ultimate hunk material. Wow, what a game that was. I mean, and we'll say most of the recap stuff for the recap podcast. We'll recap all the games, but man, that first drive when the Packers went down, and even that second drive, I was thinking as a 49ers backer, oh my God, we're gonna get blown out. This is horrible. Then the Mercedes Lewis fumble. Then they hang around.
Maybe it was my mushing of just watching that first touchdown drive.
Oh yeah, you talked a ton of shit,
and just being like, oh man, this is not going to go well for the Niners. I mean, it went well for the Niners. Kyle Shanahan, the flat brim. Once again,
Jimmy
Sean,
G is a dog, man.
Kittle,
Dog.
The flat brim, everything that you love to hate, Sean.
Well, you know, at some point I made a transition into back in the 49ers and look out for my best ball underdog best ball team where I went all 49ers and all Bills.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we'll see if they both get to the Super Bowl. I think I automatically win, right? No one else
was
has
that wild card round.
No, that was divisional.
Okay.
But still,
I was gonna say, Jesus
I don't think anyone loaded up to the point that I did. All right, so we're here to answer your prop bets. We're gonna give out some first touchdowns, any sort of build a bet you guys want to get into. Kramer, let's talk first game. What do you think? Do you have first touchdown?
Well, I mean, of course, I have all sorts of things. But what I will say is just watching the pregame as I was getting ready, watching the various shows. The NFL Network, for some reason, Sean, is trying to push this narrative that there's lots of Rams fans in Tampa. That would be news to me because I saw more Cincinnati Bengals fans walking around the streets of Los Angeles yesterday than I've seen Rams fans. So I don't expect that to be a problem. But B, no one is mentioning Stafford's back. They're talking about how Stafford's playing great. He's playing well enough, Sean, to go toe to toe with Tom Brady today. I've been shocked. This line has been 2.5 all week.
Yeah.
I continue to be shocked that this line is 2.5 today as we're talking about this. And if you're asking me for a first touchdown bet on this game, boy, for some reason the name Cameron Brate just keeps popping up to the front of my face.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
Fits the backup tight end system, Sean, that you like to deploy.
Yeah.
And just, you know, the targets being so condensed, it's so obvious. And I guess the ultimate wild card is like, what is Fournette going to be? I'm not looking at any Rams. I'm all in on this Bucs team. I think it's hilarious to me how, like, I thought at some point the narrative would shift. Hey, it's Tom Brady. He's at home. He just watched the Packers lose. He's like, now I don't have to fucking go to cold ass Green Bay.
Yeah. And the Packers will be, this is crazy. Whoever wins this is going to be hosting the NFC Championship. And for the Rams, it could feel like a 49ers home game again, like that last game of the season. My first touchdowns, I'm with you on Cameron Brate, going to co-sign that one. I'm seeing 16-1. Then I got Tyler Higbee.
Oh, I'm seeing 20-1.
Okay,
over
20 to
win
1
bet right now. So
all right, let's go. Cameron Brate. Then what do you see Tyler Higbee at and Giovanni Bernard? Those are my
Obvious.
3 first touchdowns.
13-1 on Higbee.
Okay.
Not the best price. And then who was the other one?
Giovanni Bernard.
Oh, 10-1.
See, I think he's going to be interesting. And that one may be a little short. I'm seeing a little higher elsewhere, but
figure it out.
The Giovanni Bernard DFS stuff to me is pretty interesting, just because I don't know if Leonard Fournette is gonna have this massive workload. He's coming back on a hamstring. The whole reason he couldn't play was because he couldn't totally open it up, the hamstring. Yeah. I think they get him in there, but I don't see this workload that some places are projecting. I still think Giovanni Bernard played really well, played well in the passing game. I think he's someone you want to put in DFS.
Let's not forget, Giovanni Bernard was one of the people that Brady brought to Tampa because of what he can do in the pass game. So I think if anything, you got to project Fournette to not have all that pass game work. Hamstring's been a problem for him in his career, period. And I think, Brady looked fine with Bernard. I don't know why you would just immediately pull him off the field. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think it's Fournette is going to be chalky, so you can't even be contrarian. I think to play him. So yeah, he's kind of still a hard fade to me, right? And on top of that, the Bucs PR team seems to be sending out the hey, remember he was playoff Lenny. Hey, remember he was Lombardi Lenny. No one talking about Tom Brady. No one. I love what's happening with the narratives this week.
All right. So it also updating you guys on the injury news. Tristan Wharfs is out. We had been projecting him out all week.
I wasn't projecting him out.
Oh, you thought Wharfs was going to play?
I think the way we spoke about it was that he was seemed like a legit coin flip.
Okay. And then Jensen, who was practicing most of the week, and Wharfs got in some practice. I was thinking maybe there was a chance he would play after not thinking.
Thought he was a tough guy. Maybe not.
Tristan Wharfs soft. Jensen is playing now. It's so weird. Everyone is on the Tampa Bay offensive line news, but no one's mentioning Whitworth on the other side is out. Like it's just fascinating to me. And the Tampa Bay defense is really, really healthy. Magic Man Blanco saying over 4.5 sacks a lock today in the Bucs game.
Where are you getting 4.5? I think most places have 5.5. It must be crazy juice. I mean, I've seen 6 and I commented to you before we went to live, Sean, that I've seen some 6.5s out there. I think it's a very clear narrative that these teams are both going to eat today. And I think, some of the sharper angles I've heard throughout the week of consuming other content, Sean, we won't speak about that. But I think in general, trending wise, this Rams offensive line has really struggled when the team they're facing has had a dominant interior. Vita Vea and Mckenzie. That's an interesting matchup. We could see a lot of pressure up the middle. And frankly, I understand that this offensive line for the Bucs has not looked as good with second best tackle from that draft, Tristan Wharfs, after Andrew Thomas, of course. I think it's just Brady though, and he'll figure out a way to get rid of the ball quick. I think Stafford, I trust less to adjust without having that kind of Whitworth, which by the way, impressive to be a 40-year-old man that size playing offensive line in the NFL still as a 40-year-old man myself and knowing how the body feels sometimes, but not having him there I just don't know who's saying Stafford will figure it out.
Yeah, I think people are just talking themselves into the Rams defense shutting down Tampa Bay and yeah, I mean, Patrick Travers is saying in the YouTube chat, guys, we cannot fade Brady.
It's Brady against Stafford.
Matt Stafford has never won a road playoff game. When your Rams bet is shitting itself, just remember Sean Green told you Matt Stafford has never won a road playoff game.
Wait, I got better. I see your never won a playoff game. 4-33 straight up as a dog, November or later.
Yes. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Colby is my dad. 420. How many picks has he thrown in the last 5 weeks? Here's what I would look at. I would the
Great
subset
transition.
within that stat. Not how many picks has he thrown in the 5 weeks. Let's look at games where he had to take a plane trip, where he went to Minnesota and threw 3 interceptions and only 1 touchdown. They got the win against Minnesota because Minnesota sucks. Now, what about that game against the Ravens where he threw 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6? Those are the last 2 games he had to take a flight to get to. Now he's on a short week with a long flight. Guys, Stafford is not the guy. Maybe there's a world where
the only playoff team they've beaten since they beat the Bucs way back in the beginning of the season, different team, has been the Cardinals twice. We can play this game all day long.
Yeah, I mean, again, if Stafford comes into Tampa Bay and takes down this Tampa Bay defense on the road, gets the win, I'll say hats off to you. You got the best of Brady. I just don't see it. I'm willing to concede. Matt Stafford, you want to prove me wrong? And one of those 4 out of the 33 times you were a dog in November or later, and you want to get that win? God bless you. I'll lose the money. I'm up big on the 49ers money line. I got money to spare.
Brady in the divisional round, 13-2 straight up. We're only laying 2.5, guys.
Yeah.
Why is this not 3.5? I've talked myself into why is this not 3.5? And the last thing I'll say from an X's and O's perspective, everyone's like, yeah, Jalen Ramsey's going to shut down Mike Evans. Is he? There's only one man in the league that shuts down Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And if they, if they do that, then who else is running around single coverage? Gronk. I kind of like Gronk 2 touchdowns.
Well, and that's interesting too, because I've gone back and forth. I think they may actually, if you want a real DGen prop bet, Ryan, and you brought up the Cameron Brate angle, I wouldn't be surprised. I like Gronk's game overall, and of course we know the Rams are dealing with the safety issue now. For whatever reason, Cliff Kingsbury and the too cute Arizona Cardinals didn't want to get to Zach Ertz over the middle and attack the weakness of this team. I don't think that's going to happen with this Los Angeles Rams team. However, would I be shocked if they keep Gronk in, who is actually a legit good blocker, and put out Cameron Brate? Now, what is Cameron Brate? 2 touchdowns, because that is a fun long shot.
OJ Howard too, who has stepped up in those games where Gronk stays.
Okay, maybe OJ Howard's the guy.
No, I think it's one of those two. It could be a fun way to play the game, but it's a great transition because I did, and now I'm having a hard time finding. I did build a bet with our Bucs here. Brady 2 touchdowns, Gronk 1 touchdowns, Evans 1 touchdown. And the Bucs to have over 2.5 sacks, and it was 17-1.
Oh wow! All right, let's go.
Obviously, Brady has 2 touchdowns if Gronk and Evans has 1, and then the sack bit. Like I said, I think my prediction for this game is the Wolf of Wall Street still on this team.
Wolford.
I think we're going to see Stafford get hurt in this game.
Yeah, I mean the injury stuff.
I hate predicting injuries, but it's something I've been blessed with.
No problem doing it with.
It's
Carson
something
Wentz.
I've been blessed with. I see an injury coming, and I think we're gonna like 2 large, violent men play on this Bucs defensive line, and I don't think we're getting enough talk about them this week. I think they're going to eat. We've spent 14 minutes talking about football, and we barely mentioned the Bills or the Chiefs.
Well, let's transition over to the second game. Can we get a price on the Cameron Brate 2 touchdowns? Because I do think that. Let's see if I can find that.
Jesus Christ! There's just it used to be the Super Bowl when you had to scroll for days to find props. What a world we live in. I mean, when the sports gambling podcast started, Sean, you were not able. I mean, you had to talk to a guy named Tony to get down.
So Cameron Brate 2 touchdowns plus 5,000. What's
OJ Howard?
Only.
What's OJ Howard?
OJ Howard is he's 90-1.
Well, now what you're making me want to do is I wonder what it would be to.
What if you parlayed 1 each anytime score? What do you see that at?
That's where I'm getting to it.
All right.
While you start talking about the next game, I'll come up with that.
Start talking Bills versus your Kansas City Chiefs, all over the Bills. I just think this Bills team is dialed in. They're just dialed in. They're a focused team. Number 1, a defensive DVOA, and we've seen moments. The Patrick Mahomes. They've started slow. They've had trouble putting up points early. Look what they did against Pittsburgh. You do that against the Buffalo Bills, you're in trouble. I mean, I just don't know if that much has changed from the last time the Bills came in here and kicked their ass. Certainly, Kansas City has their shit together a little bit more, but you could. I mean, Devin Singletary wasn't a part of the offense, and I think that is a huge difference. And then we're getting playoff Josh Allen, who's not afraid to run the ball. Patrick Mahomes has kind of retired running the ball. He's a little tired, sleepy. You see the bags under his eyes, as you pointed out, Ryan. I just don't. I think Bills take care of this pretty easily.
All right, quick update. Cameron Brate, OJ Howard, both to score in any time. It's going to pay 60-1. That's a fun.
All right. Is that on the win build a bet?
That's a build a bet.
All right. I'm gonna co-sign that one, Ryan. I'm gonna tweet that out from the podcast account. Make sure we get that going. Oh man. So yeah, I'm all over the Bills. One of the first touchdown bets I like is Isaiah Mckenzie. I'm just a fan of his game, and he seems to be getting involved more and more. And I like the chances I'm seeing around. Let's see. Call it 20-1, 22-1, somewhere in that 20-1 plus range. Trying to figure out what else to do first touchdown. Maybe a Chief. Maybe just go all Bills. What are you doing first touchdown, Ryan?
I keep finding myself coming back to just playing Josh Allen and Singletary, but because Singletary's price is not what it would be like. Typically a bell cow back that's been getting a lot of red zone work is going to be like in the 6-1, 550 range. He's still 850, and Josh Allen 12-1. Now I know perhaps they come out and just sling the rock around. I think they are going to try to work the run game more. So that's where I would go on the Bills side. On the Chiefs side, he has been spreading it around a little bit. So seeing Hardman at 22-1 or Pringle at 16-1 is interesting. But I'm going to go with my guy. I'm going back to the fucking CEH. 12-1. I think he's going to be back healthy. No injury designation. So I'll just pair. I'll go CEH with a complete. You know what? We haven't played Patrick Mahomes rushing touchdown in a while. Let's play that 25-1 with CEH. So I'll play quarterbacks and running backs in this one.
So you're also throwing. You also said you had Josh Allen in there.
I mean, why is he 12-1? Like, where are we? You can't price this guy north of 10-1. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'll toss a Mahomes in there as well. So I'll go Mahomes, Allen, and Isaiah McKenzie.
And you mentioned how focused this Bills team was. Are you basing that on the fact that they closed out the season crushing the juggernauts known as the Panthers, Falcons, Jets, and Patriots twice? Because I don't know how focused Brian Dable could possibly be when he's got to move. He's got to find a house in New York. He's got to figure out what he's got to do to fix Danny Dimes. He's on to the next thing. Of course, are you all aboard? Because the Shane train is leaving the station. Yeah, I'm going to crowbar in some fucking Giants talk during the divisional round. Look, I hear everything you're saying, and I agree. The Buffalo team looks similarly San Francisco. They feels like they're on a roll. But that's where I like this Kansas City team. I like this Kansas City team as an underwhelming team that no one's really talking about how they got their beat in week 5, 38-20. So you have a revenge spot. I think, like you've mentioned, I don't know how much New England was, or like I mentioned, I'm sorry. I don't know how much New England was testing the secondary last week with Mac Jones. I think Mahomes is going to do that. Look, simple stats. We did it in the last one, right? Brady.
No, I think Brady. They did test the secondary. You saw that deep bomb to Mac Jones. It was a perfectly placed ball, and
Mac Jones is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not testing the secondary in the same way.
I mean, he had some deep shots that they covered really well. I obviously you're right. Patrick Mahomes is better than Mac Jones, but
14-4 when Mahomes is laying 3 or less.
Yeah, this is. I mean, to me, this Bills team is the team of destiny. They're going to beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and it's going to be awesome.
Sean, we need a lock. Gino in the YouTube chat, it needs a lock. His life is depending on it. Anytime touchdown.
If you don't get this pick right. All right. Is your wife, is she like dogs, or she's looking for a lead pipe lock?
Or maybe you're just having a lifestyle choice. And I'll tell you what, Cameron Brate being plus 420 anytime touchdown, that makes way too much sense to me. I'll give you that one.
Wow. All right. I'll give you, you know what? I'll give you Josh Allen. Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. This is a guy that is just hungry for the end zone.
Plus 140.
Yeah, it's that to me again is pretty crazy that he's 12-1 for first touchdown, but plus 140 for any time. That feels a little value-y, Ryan, as the kids say.
I the first touchdown still is crazy to me. It's like they don't watch the Bills play offense.
KC is my lock now. Thomcat saying, sorry, Sean. Hey, it's all right. If you want to lose your money, that's completely fine.
A lot of people have reached out to me in the back channels. Say, hey, you got to get a handle on this Sean guy. It sounds a lot like he's talking about the Eagles when he's talking about the Bills. Feels like when Colby's fallen in love with a coach. There's an emotional component here, and I've gotten a lot of people sliding into the DMs, just letting me know, hey, I'm with you this week. Kansas City rolls.
Yeah, would I be? Certainly there's a chance Kansas City gets the win at home. Again, lock of all locks. I still think is Tampa Bay, but I love Buffalo as well.
Yeah, but good games today, hopefully, because yesterday, real dud fest.
What are you talking about?
Real dud fest.
Both games are awesome. Oh, because you were on the wrong side.
No points were scored. Low score, field goals, lots of kickers. I don't know. As you mentioned, Sean, Ryan Tannehill was the only quarterback to throw a touchdown pass yesterday. That's not football. Today's football.
Today is football. What do you guys got? What are your questions? What action do you have going on?
Did you build anything for the Bills Chiefs game? Because that feels like the ultimate build your own bet game. So much offense projected, so easy, no matter what side you like to get behind guys going overs.
Yeah, I mean, I did a pretty simple one, but Buffalo Bills money line, Josh Allen 55 rush yards or more, and Josh Allen first touchdown score over on the win. Build your bet at 30-1. That feels pretty good.
I mean, I didn't build this one, but I'm going to build it in real time. I kind of like if I was betting the Bills, I would go right to an adjusted spread and tag it with a couple people scoring 2 touchdowns. So let's see. I'm going to build a contrarian pick because obviously I don't think this is going to happen. But we're gonna say Singletary gets 2. We're gonna say Josh Allen gets 1 on the ground, and we're gonna add in Bills. Is 7.5 too aggressive?
No,
in that case, 25-1. Bills minus 7.5. Singletary 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen 1.
Oh my god!
I mean, this is when you're an origami master, you can just build these. And they just happen, and I'm going to save that.
Danny Locke's throwing out Diggs 2 touchdowns today. I don't have a ton of Diggs exposure. I feel like I've kind of gotten away from him just to kind of be slightly contrarian.
He's just not getting the volume.
Yeah, he's still really good, but to Kramer's point, he doesn't seem to get the volume. Anthony Rodolfi wants to know, what about a Scotty Miller anytime touchdown? Does he even see the field anymore? I think he does today. Because Cyril Grayson's out, Johnson, the other receiver, is out. I think Scotty Miller is going to see some work.
Tyler Johnson's out.
I don't know what
he might just be in the doghouse. He's
not seeing the field a bunch. I don't think he's.
He seems like the guy that like has the talent, but just doesn't get himself in the right spot, which is not what you need with a Brady.
Yeah.
Led offense. So who knows? I mean, that's kind of why I like the back to the tight end angle. Like I think.
Well, they also made John Brown active. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually gets involved. I mean, that would be crazy. But yeah, as far as like a crazy anytime touchdown, Scotty Miller, you could do worse. He seemed to be Brady's, kind of one of his go-to guys, and then he seemed to fall out of favor. So he's certainly interesting.
More likely to score a touchdown, Scourneck or Scotty Miller?
I'm retiring.
There's your build your own.
I'm retiring my Scourneck love. Although at 50-1, I don't know. Maybe I need a taste.
I mean, Scotty Miller's only 330 anytime plus 2,000 first touchdown. So
yeah, I don't know. I would,
seems like it's getting steamed up.
I would go Cameron Brate. I mean, Cameron Brate over Scotty Miller if you're looking for anytime or first touchdowns in that range.
Hell yeah.
Brady anytime's 9-1 according to Jake Paquin. I don't hate that. I always like
sneak action.
Yeah, I always like quarterback, rushing touchdowns, first touchdowns, especially in these situations where they get down to the 1 yard line. And I feel like Brady's gotten away from the sneaks lately.
Imagine 15 years ago trying to explain what Big Ben and Tom Brady will look like doing QB sneaks in the year 2022. No one would believe it.
Yeah, that is
fucking leaning tower of pizza.
It is funny with Ben Roethlisberger. The internet and the sports world just announced his retirement for him. No one, he hasn't even said he's retiring. It's just pretty funny. Everyone's like, "Oh no, dude, you're retired."
He leaked it.
Yeah, he sent out a trial balloon, like wondering if people were going to be like, "No, not Big Ben retiring." Ryan, where does Aaron Rodgers play his first snap of the season? Or what is Aaron Rodgers doing when the NFL kicks off the 2022 season?
I felt really blessed to be a part of this Green Bay team this year. I felt like the communication was stronger. He's back in Green Bay. Where the fuck else is he going to go?
Yeah, that's my problem. It's like it's on you, dog. The team surrounding Green Bay was pretty good. Like the defense played pretty well. The defense let up 6 points. I mean, at home in a playoff game, you got to get the win. You can certainly place a shit ton of blame on the Packers special teams, and rightly so.
Yeah,
but man,
I mean, they lost the game. They didn't give up an offensive touchdown.
Yeah. So again, that's on Green Bay. You had 10 points at home as the number 1 seed.
Even after that blocked punt, you had the ball in your hand with a chance to drive down and win the game, and you gave up. Like I'm about to go head out to the youth soccer streets And it looks like one of my players, like they use all their energy getting to the ball, and instead of taking a nice shot, they just mail it in and just get their foot on it. That's what it looked like when he threw that bomb to Devontae Adams. He knew that wasn't being completed.
Yeah, I tried to tell you. I'm seeing visualizations of him like ripping the chin strap off, pouty Rodgers.
But up until that point, it didn't it seemed like they were executing the game plan. Honestly, when Aaron Jones didn't convert that long pass before the half into a touchdown,
yeah,
I was like, wow, that's
well. And when they blocked the
forget
field goal.
Forget the field goal. He should have scored a touchdown there. When that didn't happen, I said, well, I'm not covering this one.
But do Packers fans want Aaron Rodgers back?
Yes.
I mean, I think you do, but
Jordan Love sucks.
I could also see a world where you go, man, this guy just doesn't win playoff games. We got to move on.
I mean, I guess where would he go? Bears?
Denver seems like a pretty obvious. I don't think Green Bay is going to let him go because he would have to be traded, right?
I assume so.
I don't know off the top of my head although he could just pout. And
almost certainly under contract, but contracts don't matter in the NFL, Sean.
No, they don't. That's why you don't have to worry about the cap.
11:28. I saw, we didn't mention it earlier, but I saw an awesome build your own or same game parlay. Or whatever.
Yeah, I'm looking at it in the Twitch chat. Shout out to the guys locking it down the Twitch.
Yeah. Bills money line. Kelsey Hill, and who do you think Motor is?
I have no idea.
Some guy named Motor. Davis, Allen, TDs, all parlayed 140 to 1, 138 to 1. So I always
that's a lock.
I like to give shout outs.
Where's the guy asking about his wife?
Oh, you want a plus 110? You fucking loser.
Yeah.
You know what you do? What you know what your wife does when you bring her home a plus 110 winner? She says, "Nice work. You want to clean the dishes?" Bring her home 140 to 1 winner.
Oh my god!
It's gonna be college all over again. All right,
let's go. Let's hit some first touchdown bets. Let's hit some props.
Yes,
we will be live on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you catch us, and of course it's a podcast as well. And definitely line up some callers. Please call into the show. Give us your takes, your bad beats, what the sweats were, where you got boned. Love to hear the instant reaction, and that we'll be going live maybe like 15-20 minutes after the Bills Chief game wraps up.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Still blows my mind that the Bucs are only 2.5. Sean
Kramer, let it ride.